Mm-hmm. Oh, feeling it, huh? All right. Let me get the camera straight. GoldenEye 30th anniversary of the movie. The game came out a few years later. There we go. Yeah. Let's go for it. Select mission. We'll go to the dam. First one. Yeah. 13th November 1995. Yo, yo. Happy 30th anniversary to. Ha, 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 ha. No wonder it sounds the same. Yeah, I had to look something up. Something had been bothering me for years, musically speaking. And it was that the musical cues sounded similar um, from Leon the Professional by Luc Besson and Goldeneye, which came out a year later in 1995. So I was thinking to myself, the like all the little clicks and everything, all the musical, like a lot of the musical cues sound very similar. So actually, the music was done by Eric Serra, and he did Leon the Professional and Goldeneye. So that squares that away, right? So we have Honor Majesty's Secret Service, Mission One, Anke, what is it? Arkhangelsk, Part I, Dam. Okay, so we'll try. So yeah, it had been kind of, you know, we have Mission One, Part I, Dam, primary objectives, bungee jump from platform. See that? I guess the screen really isn't all in. It's not all in frame here. I can fix that. Yeah. All right. Background. MI6 has confirmed the existence of a secret chemical warfare facility at the Balamure Dam, USSR. Its heavily guarded location and workings are a cause for major concern. Nerve gas produced there has been turning up in the hands of hostile regimes around the world, and deals with international terrorists have been rumored. This facility should be destroyed with extreme prejudice. In briefing, the area around the dam is well defended against full-scale military attack, but a lone agent stands a much better chance. The easiest way to gain entrance to the weapons factory will be to get down the face of the dam. Q had an idea about that. Q branch. Information concerning shipping and contacts is stored on a computer system in a secret ops room within the dam. With this covert modem connected to their satellite link, we can intercept the data when a backup is carried out. As for getting down the dam, use the bungee rope. At the bottom of the jump, use the piton gun. Simple. Money penny. Hardly a lover's leap, James. Be careful, though. I hate to think of you falling for anyone else. 9 years ago by the Yellowmore Dam. All right, cool. Maybe that sound isn't quite sound, huh? Yeah, let's put it up to like 15. All right, let's see if all the do a little check on the. Okay, it looks like everything's max. So have that cool James Bond watch. Yeah. I wonder on the visual effects, is there something that can enhance the detail? Let me see. Well, I guess they don't have a detailer like Perfect Dark yet. So we'll just have to roll with this. Yeah. One of the legends from Nintendo Rare in first-person shooting, FPS. So kind of a definitive classic of the era. Yeah, it was. I guess I should start with the state of the James Bond franchise, which follows the titular character, James Bond, as he tries to save the world, working for the British spy agency MI6. So the British have two intelligence services that we know of. Yeah, I just can't. What's going on here is that it's been a while, you know what I mean? So I don't know why. I usually don't have trouble with the layout. I don't know. So, anyways. Where's this guy at? Oh, he's just down there. All right. There we go. Let's check. My health isn't too bad right now. I just put it on easy mode. It's been a while. I don't think I probably could do a double agents full difficulty, but so the Department of Homeland Security or the Domestic Intelligence Service is called MI5. The international one is called MI6, where James Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Okay. In the balls. Uh-oh. It's these boys right here. The bunker. It's for a first-person shooter. It's very interesting because it's very fun, like an arcade. So it's able to capture the first-person shooter elements of a console system, but also the kind of fun and the excitement of an arcade. So it's able to blend those old and newer elements together in a very nice way. That maybe other first-person shooters like Doom and Wolfenstein 3D, they felt a lot more constricted by the graphics and by the software and hardware of the time, and so I think this is one of the first video games to capture the feeling and the music and the world of a movie. So it's basically like one of the first, I would say, playable movies. So James Bond must save the world on Her Majesty's Secret Service from threats to Great Britain and England and the rest of civilization. And he goes on globe-trotting adventures uh, to ensure the survival and safety of Western civilization, basically. James Bond itself is based off of Ian Fleming novels, a former naval intelligence officer. So, shit. See, the objective is the dam, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, bungee jump from platform. That's it. Oh, there's true. Oh, shit. There was an assault group from the back. Fuck. Hmm. Yeah, watch your back, Dom. Yeah. All right. So we're not supposed to let them trip the alarm, but that was a rookie mistake right there, letting them survive to hit the alarm. So a little rusty. Haven't played this in a while, but I planned this for the Goldeneye 30th anniversary to do a playthrough. So gonna try to do it. I don't know if I'll make it there, but we're gonna go to try it though. So I don't know if there's gonna be like a party tonight to sing Goldeneye and stuff. So I'm not sure yet. It's been kind of a rough week for my family and I. So yeah. Yeah, it is. It is kind of a male fantasy. It's not, as I said before. I know there's women that enjoy the James Bond films, but it's mostly a male fantasy to kick every other man's or competitor's ass, and to drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes and face no damage from that, and to go on adventurous fantasy adventures to save the world. That sort of thing. Yeah. So I think James Bond is definitely a male pop fantasy for sure, um, without a doubt. So, and you get to have sex with gorgeous women without any consequences or any kind of too deep entanglements. So it's like the perfect male fantasy. Kick guys' asses, drink alcohol, and smoke cigarettes in excess, and face no consequences, and sleep with all kinds of gorgeous women, no consequences. So that's the ultimate. In reality, if you slept with a lot of women, you can enjoy yourself if you're Tiger Woods or whoever, but you might get an AIDS. So James Bond never gets AIDS, and he never gets STDs. They never have a James Bond where he's like, "Oh shit, I got AIDS," like Charlie Sheen or something like that. So they never have a James Bond where he goes, "I have cirrhosis of the liver," or he's like, "I have lung cancer." So in real life, there's consequences. In Hollywood, uh, you know, it's all shits and giggles, I guess. But Forgot about this dude, huh? Forgot about that dude. You're always forgetting about those dudes in the back. Yeah, I love the soundtracks for Goldeneye and the man, his use. The soundtracks are just amazing. By Eric Serra. Yeah, his name is Eric Serra. Or Serra. I'm not sure what is. But man, brilliant soundtracks. Um, with Leon the Professional, it was an original soundtrack. But in Goldeneye, it's like Eric Serra's brilliant work with the James Bond themes, and it's amazing. He was able to, like the kind of ambiance he's able to create, the kind of so there were the Ian Fleming 007 James Bond novels starting. I guess did it start right after the war? The war, yeah, he was in World War II as a naval intelligence officer, Ian Fleming, and I guess he started writing the novels in the 1950s. Of course, the famous Casino Royale, and then the first James Bond movie came out, Doctor No, in 1962, the year my mother was born. And so, anyways, Ian Fleming was so impressed by Sean Connery's performance that he changed the nationality, ethnicity of James Bond slightly to make him part English and Scottish. At first, he was just all English. I love that drum. Sounds so cool. That like electronic Nintendo 64 fucking beat. Shit sounds badass. All right. Accuracy only 64.3%. Primary objectives: Archangels, gain entry to laboratory area, rendezvous with 006, destroy all tanks in bottling room, minimize scientist casualties. This is the infamous facility meetup between Sean Bean, the great Sean Bean, as 006. Inside the chemical weapons facility, you should quickly and efficiently proceed to the bottling area and place demolition charges on the main gas tanks. Political considerations demand that collateral damage is minimized on this mission. Non-military personnel should be disregarded. In briefing, you'll be working with 006 on this assignment. The bottling room is the rendezvous point. Don't forget to contact a double agent scientist before you leave and warn him to get out. He will provide you with a decoder for the final security door. There are no women or casinos for 1,000 miles, 007, so even you will be able to concentrate on this mission. Q branch. Now listen carefully, Bond. Those bombs will be armed as soon as the last one is set. Don't be too close when you set them off, or you'll go up in flames as well. And while you're at it, please try and bring back that door opener undamaged for once. Too much rough handling like the last mission, and it might go wrong at a bad time. Honestly, 007, sometimes I think you damage your equipment on purpose. Moneypenny. These chemicals could prove to be a match even for your pheromones, James. Don't take too many risks. Chemical warfare facility, just like flashed on the screen. The infamous facility. Yeah. I had a buddy when we would play this back in the day, he would love just looking at the levels and he would say, look, the facility and the stack and or whatever, you know. He just loved that. The facility. Oh. Ah. So when this came out, what was going on in the real world? The Soviet Union had fallen in 1991, leaving the West as the lone sole superpower of the world, the United States. At that time, China wasn't really trying to take over the world, except in manufacturing. So they weren't trying to become a global dominant superpower as they are now and challenge the West and the United States and any other country around the world. So that dares to challenge them. This is about the time Bill Clinton signed the NAFTA agreement to ship American jobs overseas and weaken the American manufacturing base for cheaper labor in India and China. So as greedy corporations saved money on cheap labor, so Americans could get cheap goods. I guess in China they still have child slave labor, I believe. I think for the Apple iPhones, and I heard one report that they had Apple suicide nets in China. When people get too depressed making iPhones, they have the suicide nets. Yeah, pretty gruesome, but however, most things in the 1990s did not really reflect on this fleecing or hollowing out of American jobs and manufacturing base. Most of it was a um, glorious celebration of. Um, I picked up a hand grenade. Yeah. Oh, I got my grenade. Always fills me with glee when I have my grenade. Bum, 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 bum. Walter PPK 9mm. Yes. So the tone in the United States of America and the West in general after the Soviet Union had fallen was very optimistic. And it was kind of like a revival of Western civilization. And also the James Bond franchise had fizzled out in the 1980s. Pierce Brosnan had been in Remington Steele, a very popular, famous series, and he couldn't get out of his contract to play James Bond. So it was similar to, I think in the old days, when an actor was highly in demand, the television shows and networks would try to lock them in where they couldn't escape. So they couldn't escape they had to sign these long contracts. And because the executives didn't want the actor to get away, or actors, mostly guys like Pierce Brosnan and Michael J. Fox found it hard to develop a film career. They wanted to get started in Hollywood early, but their damn contracts got in the way because, yeah, they just, were in a situation where everybody wants you. And I think the small gun stuff is over with. We have to go to the big guns. Yeah. So Michael J. Fox was able to barely 40 years ago make uh, Back to the Future and get his film career going, even though he was still that he couldn't break his contract with Family Ties, so he had to work a grueling schedule to get that done. And probably Eon Productions and United Artists, there was no way they could, have it where Pierce Brosnan is exhausted trying to do Remington Steele episodes and then having to shoot a James Bond picture, which takes place all over the world. I mean, the logistics of that would have been insane. So, thankfully, he was still young. So, it wasn't a situation like Henry Cavill, who gets turned down for the role. And then by the time the role comes available, he's already 40. He's already almost my age or whatever, basically. And he's considered too old for the part. Pierce Brosnan had a better time because he was younger. So he just was like waiting for that contract release, waiting for the show to end so he could start his film career. And finally, after Timothy Dalton's run as James Bond, they're not bad. Living Daylights and whatever. They're not really bad movies. I mean, Timothy Dalton isn't bad. He just was, you know, he just was Pierce Brosnan's fill-in basically, and yeah, just because Pierce Brosnan couldn't get out of his contract, so. Welcome to the team, baby. Ah, my buddies have arrived. Yeah. This is what Ukrainians are doing now, I guess, killing Russians. And yeah, killing Russians. So what? Yeah. Yeah, Russia is like, Vladimir Putin is an ex KGB thug who saw the fall of the Soviet Union and presided after Boris Yeltsin after its demise. And of course, he's a mad Vlad, murderous thug, KGB thug. I suppose he wants to restore the power and the global prestige and the fear of the Soviet Union, but those days are over. So he is kind of living in a delusional, uh, insane thought process. See if any of these objectives are being done here. Gain entry to laboratory area. Rendezvous with. Okay. Minimize. All right. I don't have any extras. These are just basic objectives because it's just. Don't you love the Nintendo 64, the tile porn? I just love like tile porn. Tile pornography, tiles. I love it. I guess that is something um, kind of hot about the Nintendo 64 is the geometric shapes of it. The geometry of it is amazing, of the 64-bit. Clunky and geometric, but interesting though. Oh shit! There's a dude right there. There's always a dude in the. Oh fuck! Fuck! That's my fault because I was putting on the watch when I wasn't watching. Shit. Yeah. So I know I saw this in the theaters. So the tone was a triumphant return for America and Western civilization, and a triumphant return for James Bond. Finally, Pierce Brosnan was free from his slave type contract. I mean, yeah. I guess the dilemma that the world faces is that, traditionally speaking, is that the world really doesn't want to be time to leave, Dr. Doak. You'll need this decoder to open the bottling room door. Good luck, 007. Yeah. The dilemma the world faces with authoritarian and totalitarian regimes is this, is that the world, Western civilization, or part of the Queen's realm, with the King's English, part of former Commonwealth countries and Commonwealth countries now that are English speaking do not want to become under the boot heels of Russians. No one really wants to be Russian. That's really the issue, you know. And so Russia is kind of alone in the fact that it's its own thing, and nobody really wants to be Russian. Nobody aspires to be Russian. I mean, not normally anyway. Sort of like no one really aspires to be Chinese. People might want to learn the language just for enhanced commerce, for enhanced culture, uh, to enjoy an ancient culture and their language, and to challenge oneself. But no one really wants to be Chinese. And I think a lot of people want to be American. A lot of people want to be English. And, obviously there's tons of people that want to be white. And so I don't think that's really going to change anytime soon. All right, let's get that decoder out. Time for the great scene in the movie. Yeah, this was like one of the first video games that didn't feel like you were playing a video game. It felt like you were playing a movie. And that was made it unique. All right, access granted. All right, let's get it ready, baby. We're gonna need that KF Kalishnikov 7 uh, Soviet. The great Alec Bean. Yeah, glad you could make it, 007. Okay, for England, James. For England, Alec. We got to start putting these remote mines on. I forgot. For England, Alec. It was too easy, Alec. Half of everything is luck. And the other half? Fate. For England, James, blow them all to hell. Oh shit! I failed the mission. Shit, man. I got too much into the escape. Yeah. So the premise is that the Soviet Union has fallen, but it's dangerous and unstable. So there were those that thought that the Soviet Union might not be perfect, but maybe it would westernize, is probably what Western countries thought. But I think Vladimir Putin destroyed all hopes of Russian westernization. Because his plan was a restoration of the Soviet Empire, which was not what the world wanted at all. And so no one wants to see the Soviet Empire restored, except former KGB and Soviets. So this was the first James Bond movie to have fun. Not only freedom from the contract of Remington Steele for Pierce, and a kind of a real dashing, handsome Bond. Again, but also kind of debonair as well. But also liberation from an oppressive communist power. And liberation and freedom for ex-Soviet states like the Ukraine, Georgia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, etc., and other Soviet breakaway republics. What's the other stand? Is Kazakhstan? Very nice, very nice. How much is your sister? Oh, yeah, that's Borat. Very nice. How much your sister? Some more of these hummies. Wah, wah. Oh. Bow, bow. The music's half the fun, really. The tunage. Besides the blocky ancient graphics. Dr. Doke. Time to leave, Dr. Doke. Oh, yeah. One of the rare producers, programmers, inserted himself in the game, which is pretty cool. Oh, he's got that grenade. That grenade, baby. And pull out. Nothing much but the touch, baby. Yow. Yeah. Now I can't kill any scientists, so the way those tiles light up, so cool. Yeah, I guess when first person shooters got this good, a lot of parents were concerned, not just at Wolfenstein 3D and Doom and so on, but Quake, but this. I don't think this leads to violence. I think male abuse and abandonment leads to violence, and shitty parents leads to violence is what I think. So mental illness leads to violence, but I don't think that video games lead to violence. There's a lot of people who play war and battle video games, and they're just fine. So yeah, I think society was always looking towards scapegoats, and they weren't. I think society always looks for scapegoats when there's problems with males, and they become violent, or they want a scapegoat for mental illness and stuff like that, because it's easier to blame the system than to blame the problem or address the problem. So it's easier to blame violent video games and Marilyn Manson and shit, or heavy metal music or something, than to blame the actual problems. Is he scratching his nutsacks? Nice addition for a game 30 years, well, 28 years old, almost. Yeah. Okay, let's remember that objective this time. Yeah. So it's basically James Bond has the watch in Goldeneye, like the penny watch from Inspector Gadget, except that it doesn't have like a FaceTime screen or a Zoom or Skype screen, a mini video screen. So yeah, I always loved that watching Inspector Gadget when I was a kid growing up in the 80s. Like I loved how Penny had a computer ebook, and I love the fact that she had a I especially love the fact that she had a video watch, a video phone watch. I always thought that was so ahead of its time, and I don't think they. I think it's almost there, but I know they have the Apple Watch, but they don't have a fully functional, I don't believe, video phone watch that I'm aware of yet. So maybe we'll get there to that Inspector Gadget technology one day. We'll get there. So let's get the great Alec Trevelyan, or the great Sean Bean. Again, let's not forget to do this. All right, blow it up. It's a pretty good skin. Very Sean Beanie right there for the time, for the 64 graphics. Yeah, that's why it did almost feel like you're playing a movie. You're inside a movie. Yeah, one of the first games to be like that. All right, let's blow it up. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see if everything's okay. Complete. Minimize scientists' casualties. You want to try to fight some Russians first? That's a lot of Russians, though. I have before, just for fun, see how many Russians I could fight. You want to throw the grenade? Let's throw the grenade, baby. Ooh. Oh, it's because General Omarov is almost invincible, so that's why it's tough. I had the grenade. That was fun, but still. Oh, yeah. The facility, 63.9%. I was going for 69.9. Oh, yeah. Arkhangelsk runway. Primary objective, find plane ignition key, escape in plane. The plane. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. So what did I think of the movie? Yeah, the review of the 30th anniversary of Goldeneye, the movie. The service runway is the obvious escape route from the Arkhangelsk chemical weapons facility. In briefing, 006 knew this was going to be a risky mission. His sacrifice should give you enough time to find an aircraft. Keep a cool head and you'll get out alive. Just be certain to knock out the heavy gun emplacements and missile battery, or they'll swat you out of the air like a silly fly. Q branch. No time for gadgets here, 007. Just improvise with what you can find close to hand. Moneypenny. Grace under pressure, as always, James. Runway. Chemical weapons facility. I mean, I think it's a tragedy that the Russians cannot move forward because the KGB thug Vladimir Putin is not dead. Their nation just cannot move forward with the rest of the world without these old Soviets dead, and they're getting old and they're dying off, but not quick enough. I love the old green screen Matrix TVs, just like the glory days of early computing. Oh yeah. But the movie itself is it's like jubilant, bombastic. It's almost cartoonish, especially the portrayal of the Russians. Very cartoonish thug, you know, like expendable thugs that are very cartoon like. The Russian character's not played with any uh, dimensionality except for maybe Boris and Natalia. Boris is particularly funny as uh, as the computer programmer who works for Alex Trevelyan, and his famous password is knockers. And I love when he goes, I am invincible. It's pretty funny too. His catchphrase, I'm invincible. And funnily enough, there was a theoretical weapon by the Russian Federation that could, in theory, nuke satellites from orbit. And it sounds very Goldeneye-ish, the plot, that particular scenario. A space weapon in orbit to knock out enemy satellites. Got some our first take combat. Very fun. That's why it's able to mix arcade elements and first person shooter to a great effect. All right, let's get in that communist red star plane here. I don't know if I would trust it. All right, completed. New cheat available. Oh man, PP7. Ah, and did you think they made up all the places in Goldeneye? There's actually a Cervanaya. So, Mission 2, Cervanaya, James Bond. Primary objectives, power down communications dish, enter base via ventilation tower. Background. A spy satellite has detected increased levels of activity at the old observatory complex near Cervanaya in Russia. Other sources have confirmed the shipment of a large amount of computer hardware to that location and an influx of skilled personnel. In briefing, it might be coincidence that there is a new head of the Soviet Space Weapons Division, your old friend General Omarov, or it might not. Penetrate the base and find out what is going on. Building plans for the underground section would be ideal. They're unlikely to be just lying around, so look for a safe. There's bound to be someone you can borrow a key from. Q Ranch. I've looked over the recon photographs and I advise you to stay clear of the main bunker entrance by the helipad. However, there seems to be a ventilation tower nearby, which would make an excellent spot for a covert entry. You ought to power down the comms dish, too. No point in letting them tell the whole of Russia you dropped in. Moneypenny, it's cold in Siberia, James. Make sure you wrap up warm and take care to protect your extremities. They can't say James Bond's balls, so they had to say 4 years ago. This is like it weaves in from the prequels to the actual events of the movie, which is pretty cool. So, 1 second though, let me put it on pause. Hello? Hey! How's it going? Oh, yeah. Uh, oh, 12:42. Okay, all right, so you want? Oh, you want? You get the freedom. Hey. Oh yeah, are we having beverages? Oh, okay, all right, cool. Okay, all right. Oh, right. Is he okay? Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's horrible. What was the last I had an important phone call, so we'll let the 30th anniversary of Goldeneye continue, rather. Ooh. Da, 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 da. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that was a real important phone call, and then they had an old. He's my aunt's ex-boyfriend from a long time ago, and he's in trouble, just an old man. So had to catch that one. So, 30th anniversary of Goldeneye. The movie review and playthrough of the GoldenEye Nintendo 64 Classic from Nintendo Rare, the brilliant Rare team from. I want to say, are they a British team? Wow, what an amazing team! Yeah, and of course after that the success with Perfect Dark, one of my favorite. Uh, let's see what the objectives are. Uh-oh. They'll get killed by the Russians, I guess. Yeah. Power down communications dish. Enter base via ventilation tower. Let's see where this shit. Might have to go hard on him. Where is this motherfucker at? Is he over there? Oh, okay, there we go. Hard to see with all the snow and shit, huh? Take that boy out. Da, 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 da. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, okay. It didn't go ooh, 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 ooh. It did something else. But whatever. Ah. Yeah, a lot of Russia is uninhabitable because of the snow. Yeah, kind of like there's large tracts of China that are uninhabitable, really. So, but more so in Russia, it's more. It's still Russia's still one of the biggest countries, the Russian Federation, landmass in the world. Yeah. So some people in the West have called it the world's nuclear gas station, uh, as a critique. Um, of course, Vladimir the Butcher Putin invaded the Ukraine in February 2022. During the weakness and dysfunction of the Biden-Harris administration by the Democrat Party, after the Chinese plague from Wuhan Virology Institute by the Chinese Communist Party. Vladimir Putin, old KGB thug, wanted the war to take 3 days to take over Kiev, but it didn't work out that way, as his troops were landlocked and humiliated by the Ukrainian forces, and NATO and the West joined to send weapons to help the Ukrainians defend their country from the illegal invasion. Power down communications dish. Okie dokie. There we go. Dish powered down. Nice. Yeah. So, what was the goal of the West once Vladimir Putin had invaded a sovereign, independent nation, the Ukraine? After that, it was to support Ukrainian independence by providing it with weapons, but the objective really was to weaken a geopolitical adversary, the Russian Federation, the authoritarian nation of over 200 million people, and to drain its military. This would be an impossible task if it had the populations of India or China, which have 1.4 billion. Uh, and then I think India is approaching 1.5 billion people. So this would normally be an impossible task with that landmass and that amount of people to significantly weaken their manpower reserves. But in this case, um, the Soviet, I'm sorry, the Russian Federation have a substantially lower population than the United States of America, and so it was easier to bleed Russia out and weaken their military forces. So I think the secondary objective became for the West was to weaken the Russian military so that really weaken and sanction the Russians so badly that it would humiliate Putin and it would also cause unrest in the Russian Federation and cause his a coup and maybe his downfall, a revolt. And if anything, just weaken Russia economically and spiritually and militarily. And I think that objective with over 1 million Russians dead so far, I think on the battlefield um, in the ongoing Ukrainian invasion, I think is testament that Vladimir Putin is not winning this war, this invasion. He has failed. And people in the West don't want Russians to suffer, the 200 million or so, but they have an authoritarian, maniacal leader, and he has prosecuted an illegal invasion of a sovereign nation in the world. And so he's going to suffer the consequences, whatever they may be. And the Russian people have to, by proxy, suffer those consequences, unfortunately. Servinia, Part 2, Bunker. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, primary objectives. Copy GoldenEye key and leave original. Photograph main video screen. See what's going on here. A lot of activity. All right, background. A spy satellite has detected increased levels of activity at an old observatory complex near Servinia in Russia. Why they give you the coordinates, I don't know. But the coordinates are 62.08 north and 102.58 east, if you're going to put that in your Google Maps. Just kidding. Other sources have confirmed the shipment of a large amount of computer hardware to that location and an influx of skilled personnel. In briefing, 007, I want you to infiltrate this base. Find out what the devil's going on in there. The satellite photographs reveal that there has been recent underground excavation. We like to know the exact nature and planned extent of the workings. By the way, this is a covert operation. You may have to neutralize the security, but try not to be too obvious about it. Q branch. You'll be doing some computer hacking on this mission, 007. I know you'd rather be cracking open a bottle of bubbly than cracking passwords, so I've taken the liberty of putting together a little gadget which will do the hard work for you. If you attach the data thief to their mainframe, it should override any computer security measures and download the information we require. Oh, I accidentally skipped past the money penny quip. Shit. My bad. Satellite control bunker. All right. Goldeneye 30th anniversary. Um, so I, I do think the goal was to weaken the Russian military, humiliate Vladimir Putin, keep Ukraine sovereign and independent by supporting it with weapons and logistics, etc. So, but I'd say all around, weaken Russian Federation aside, geopolitical adversary of the United States, it's still a tragedy in spite of all this, in spite of all that's happened. Now, Vladimir Putin claims, and maybe Tucker Carlson and so forth, that uh, he wanted to join NATO, but Clinton and the Obamas and the Bushes and neocons rejected his application or something like that. Now, do I actually believe that Bill Clinton and the powers that be, the Obamas and the Clintons and the Bushes, denied uh, a NATO application for or greater Eastern Western alliance uh, with the West? I don't really, you know, have the expertise to know if that was really what happened, but it is a tragedy that peace was not secured back in the day, for sure, without a doubt. So, but that's the dangers of the deep state, the military, industrial, pharmaceutical, technological, state media propaganda complex, or the new world globalist order, the liberal global world order. Uh, because you can't have a vast arms industry without endless wars, as we all know by now. So, as General President Dwight D. Eisenhower warned in his military-industrial complex speech from back in the day, warning that misplaced power in government or a government within a government, a shadow government, would endanger the lives of U.S. citizens and people around the globe. There were no iPhones when this movie came out, so he has. There's not computer phones back then, but he does have a camera. It's just a camera that just takes pictures of things, like in the old days. Okay, so let's try to be quiet about this. I love the old almost it's almost like the Cheyenne control center, with the huge map of the world. Like reminds me of war games. That's pretty neat. Please, knockers. Okay, watch out, this guy. Okay. Oh, I love how they have the brown shirts, but they're like Soviets. They remind you of "Take me to the mainframe terminal," but they remind me of the like the brown shirts in the SS, the Nazi Socialist Party. Boris, I need you to enter the infamous code, which is knockers. Knockers. I'm invincible. Okay, good. He goes, oops, they changed the password. The root password has been changed. Oh shit, I'm stuck. I'm stuck with Boris. Fuck. Knockers, return. Oh shit. Okay. Fuck, I'm stuck with. Let's go, boy. Fuck, how did I get stuck with Boris? Damn it, this is gonna blow the whole mission. Fuck. Fuck, how did I. Fuck, I've never done this before. Okay, I'm free. Boris didn't get killed, did he? Okay, what's the oh, I didn't photograph the main screen. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Let's do it. One picture should do. There we go. Took a picture of the control station. Let's look at the. There we go. Servanaya. Boom. 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 Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do, 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 do. 66.7%. Ah. We're going to Kyrgyzstan. Photograph satellite. Minimize scientist casualties. Kyrgyzstan. Exactly. Could they not say Kazakhstan? Very nice. How much your sister? Background: MI6 has become concerned that unscheduled test firings from a missile silo in Kyrgyzstan are being used to cover the launch of Goldeneye weapons satellites. Deep intelligence reports suggest that this operation may well be outside the control of the former Soviet powers in the region. In briefing, infiltrate the silo and ascertain what is being placed into orbit. If it is the satellites, recover their control circuitry and sabotage the launches. You are authorized to destroy the base if necessary. This is a matter of international security, 007. Consider the military personnel expendable. Q branch. The layout of the missile silo means that a few carefully placed explosive charges will destroy the entire complex. Concentrate on the fuel rooms H4, C3, K2, and A1. 007, remember to treat the timed explosives with respect. You know what happened to 004 in Beirut. Oh, and get me a picture of the satellite. There's a good chap. Moneypenny, you leave at 1800 hours for Bishkek. James, just imagine those romantic nights in the steppes, lying beneath the stars, the campfires twinkling on the hills. Sounds like heaven. When you're in the arms of some dusky maiden, spare a thought for poor old me cooped up behind a desk in rainy London. Soviet missile silo, Kyrgyzstan, 2 years ago. The British YouTuber Bald and Bankrupt, like he famously went into an old Soviet complex in an old cosmonaut complex. It was abandoned. I think he got. I think him and his girl got arrested, but it wasn't a sensitive military site, so they weren't sent to the Gulag by Vladimir. Thankfully, he was allowed to. Was he just banned from Russia or something? He was just kicked out. Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding. So one of my aunt's ex-boyfriends is very elderly, and he has a family that like doesn't give a shit about him. Kind of, he has a bad relationship with his son, and a tenuous relationship with his daughter, and there was a time when my step uncle Dave, was quite together. He had a great job. He bought a house. He was living the American dream. He had 2 kids from a previous marriage, and he was living with my aunt. And it wasn't honky dory. It wasn't perfect, but he was together and living the American dream. A functional adult, adulting, living the American dream. Uh, a productive and responsible member of society, and all that stuff. And my aunt left because he was a little bit too old for her. And so maybe he was 10 or 15 years older than her. So um, the stepdaughter was extremely jealous of my aunt. And so she made things very unpleasant trying to fight over her daddy. And that, was a really bad scene. In addition, my aunt was a alcoholic, a pretty like not just like gets out of just hits the bubbly every now and then. This is like kind of like hitting the hard shit, like getting shitted, like just like this is the kind of alcoholic that stays drunk for like 2 weeks and then wakes up and is like, "Where's my beer?" So it's a really bad scene. Um, I guess my aunt left first, as I guess it was like yeah. I I guess the daughter had defended her daddy and staved off the hostile threat of my aunt or having a stepmother. So, and then my actually it was better because my aunt met a guy after that, um, who was more her age, and they had a child together. My first, I'm sorry, my second cousin to be born on my mother's side. So that was good. Yeah. So, anyways, my cousin was born because my aunt, got out of that toxic situation. Um, she lived with my grandparents up here and got herself together and raised her kid, uh, and broke up with her new boyfriend, that had my new cousin, uh, Sally, I guess I'll call her. And so everything was pretty fine late. Uh, Sally had been born, and she was living with my grandparents, who still lived in Houston. Um, and then, so everything was great. Everything was hunky dory. Uh, yeah. Then after that, Crystal met a new guy, a new boyfriend who was really, that guy was really cool. And he was really together. Shit, it's Umaro. Okay, Umaro. Shit. There he goes. Good. Yeah, that General Umarov, man. He's a tough one, huh? No, they always make the General Umarov the principal bad guy in Goldeneye. Uh, yeah, I got some more body armor. All right. A lot more invincible than is humanly possible. So, anyways, what happened to David and his two kids while all this was going on? Uh, Basically, he went kind of into drugs, and his son joined the military and was successful in the army. And his daughter was kind of a loser. And then uh, she David's daughter had kind of a disadvantage in life. She wasn't really all that attractive, so it just made life just, you know. I'm not saying I feel sorry for her. I'm just saying just made. I think it makes. I think it's tougher for women that are unattractive to have successful lives. I really do. So, not. I know ugly women can have successful lives, but it's just an extra handicap. Okay, frigate primary objectives: the Monte Carlo. Mission 4. Rescue hostages, plant tracking bug on helicopter. Um, Background. A demonstration of the pirate stealth helicopter by the French military has been unexpectedly postponed. Official channels insist that nothing is wrong, but unofficially MI6 has been asked to help salvage a very tricky hostage situation on board the frigate Lafayette. It seems that the Janus crime syndicate will stop at nothing in its attempt to hijack the helicopter. In briefing, this is the best chance we've had in years to get a lead on Janus. The French are prepared to play along with an entrapment scenario. We need you to place a tracker on the pirate so that we can trace its movements after Janus steals it. This must go smoothly, 007. If the press gets a sniff of this, we'll all have egg on our faces. Q Branch. The French have kindly given us technical details of the pirate, so I've managed to convert this tracker bug into quite a clever little chap. It's undetectable and it locks out all weapon firing commands. Janus is also threatening to blow up the ship. They are most likely to have placed explosives on the bridge and in the engine room. Take care, 007, and be certain to use the bomb diffuser correctly. Moneypenny. Xena Onatop, one of Janus's main operatives, may be on board the Lafayette. They say she has thighs of steel, James. Just be sure to stay out of their grasp. Frigate Lafayette, Monte Carlo. That's a jam right there, huh? Yeah, the genius of James Bond 007 Goldeneye N64, besides mixing arcade with first-person shooter uh, kinds of games, is also its usage of the James Bond catalog of music, which is like a James Bond music cinematic greatest hits. It uses to great effect. So these objectives are rescue hostages, plant tracking bug on helicopter. All right, so we know what it is. Oh shit, he killed her. Damn it. Fuck. Guy was behind him. Uh-oh. Already failed the mission already, huh? No, not really. You gotta rescue. You can't let too many die, though. So, yeah. So, James and Dave did a lot of drugs. Um, and his kids left and did their own thing. And so it's eventually Dave, his life wasn't very together. Kind of strung out on drugs and shit. And he had his house for a while. And then he moved to the north side of town, in a kind of they call it Willowbrook area, but I call it Willowhood because it turned into the ghetto. It used to be a nice place in Houston, but it turned into the ghetto over the years. By 2010, he had lost his house. And he was in an apartment, and my family asked me to take him to help him move out of his apartment, get his stuff packed, so he can move with my aunt and uncle in Austin to help him out. And so I did. Um, so then he started living with them, and yeah. because in the 1990s, uh, we had a lot. He was a really fun guy. It was really together, and so his life wasn't falling apart yet. And his son and daughter were still talking to him and stuff. And so even though he's not really blood related to us, he still felt like part of the family. But my aunt has always not Crystal, but my aunt Julia has always been very, very, very generous. If you're down and out, she usually gives you a place to stay. Uh, you know, so Uncle David probably thought that my aunt and uncle uh, they probably thought that my aunt and uncle were going to help take care of him until his golden years as he got older and older. And they were like, well, I know you're giving us money and stuff. And they started to draw Social Security, but they were like, well, you need to get your own place. He didn't really take it very well because he was planning to not work very hard, to kind of coast it to retirement, to kind of, not take advantage of my aunt and uncle, but kind of like just, not really had to, have a family. He just wanted to basically have a family, just kind of ride it out, and, you know what I mean. So he was like, I guess in his mind, he had already worked real hard his whole life and got a house and, been through a lot, had children, had a lot of breakups and divorces and all that stuff. So I guess he just thought like, okay, I'm just gonna, life's been tough for me, so I'm just gonna, yeah, just kind of take it easy, just kind of coast it. I just call it coasting it, kind of coast this, coast this mother, yeah, let's coast this bad boy. And my aunt and uncle were like, well, we want our own family, and we want you to be independent, but still live in the same city. And then he was real butthurt because he thought he was going to not be taken care of and spoon fed, but he thought, you know, so my uncle David probably thought he was going to turn off the engines of life and glide down the river, and you know, and my uncle were like, nah, that's not going to happen. I don't know how to get to the helicopters really. Why I'm confused right now. Bum, 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 bum. I can hear the helicopter, but I don't know where the fuck it is. It's been a while, as I've said before. So. It hasn't been 30 years or 28 years since I played this, but it has been a spell, been a minute, as they would say. Okay, now we're just going in circles, fool. Is that just back to the engine room again? Ooh, ah, ah. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Sexy. Ding, ding. This is sexy. Fuck. Okay. So then David got an apartment in Austin that was like on a Social Security. Well, there. Hold on. I'm sorry. He went to go live with some relatives, and they were really abusive in Virginia, and they were just taking his Social Security checks, and they were just like ripping him off and shit. Okay. Now this has been a problem throughout David's life, is that he's very trustworthy with people, and yeah, that's not so good. So I guess you gotta, like Ronald Reagan used to say, trust but verify. So yeah, David has always really trusted people, and that's often spelt doom for him, uh, as he trusts people far too much. So it's not just your generic Southern hospitality that most people in the South do have to a certain degree or another. Okay, so do I have to go like through? So he went with some relatives in Virginia, and they were just ripping him off and kind of being abusive to an elderly person. So he had to get out of there yet again, and then so I think my aunt and uncle helped him get a place in Austin and get on a fixed income with the Social Security, because he worked through hard. He worked really hard throughout his life and earned. All you have to do to earn Social Security, if the government fund exists, is some people call it a Ponzi scheme, whatever, but it's what a lot of people, kind of depend or rely on sometimes. Uh, they worked real hard. I think it's the requirements. You have to work 10 years, so a decade, to pay into the Social Security system. So a lot of people have multiple, at least two or three decades paying into the Social Security system. So um, for baby boomers, the Social Security probably is going to be there. That extra relief checks for the millennials and Gen Xers probably will go insolvent by the year 2034, as the financial projections suggest. So I wouldn't count on Social Security for my generation at all. I don't think there's going to be shit left. Uh, I know. I kind of look at life as a store. You have to get stuff on sale before everybody else takes it. Otherwise, you're going to be left out in the cold, shit out of luck. So that's the way I look at life. You have to get it as fast as you can, or you aren't going to get shit. So that's just how it is. Um, yeah, I don't really expect for millennials, those of our generation, to have Social Security by the time we get to the retirement age. So to draw on, I don't think so. So we're gonna have to brainstorm and work really hard to find alternative sources of income because Social Security might be there for the boomers, but it's not going to be there for future generations. Completed. Rescue hostages, plant tracking bug on helicopter. Bam. 64.2% on the Nintendo 64. Whoa. All right, we got James Bond, Cervanaya, surface, break communications link to bunker, gain entry to bunker. Oh, wow. The pirate helicopter was tracked to Cervanaya, where Keyhole 1, a Lynch satellite, recorded a brief firefight. After the pirate left, the same satellite observed a troop helicopter being made ready at a Spetsnaz camp 200 miles due south. The only way that we can get you there quickly is to drop you from a spy plane, and the Soviet Special Forces will be there before you. In briefing, you should remember this place, 007. We need any evidence of Janus' presence there, and fast. Disable the troop helicopter so that nothing can be removed from the scene and destroy their surveillance cameras. This had to be an inside job, Bond. Find out who their contact was. The macabre way to do it would be to use their casualty list. Of course, you'd have to know who was there first. Q branch, right. I've altered a standard mine to take a 10-second fuse. There's only one, so don't play around with it. That should take care of their helicopter. This is a covert op, so I fitted a silencer to your pistol. Satisfied? No? Well, tough. That's all you're getting. Money Penny, remember the saying, James? Never go back. Jack Reacher, never go back. How do they know about Jack Reacher in the year 1997, 1996, 1997? What the hell? So a lot of the difficulty, I don't think my uncle is stupid or step uncle. I just think his son and daughter don't give a shit about him, and you know, as far as I know, he's off booze and drugs and things like that. But um, yeah, he just kind of trusts people he shouldn't trust, gets in bad situations. Um, you know, so I like my family, my blood family, because for the most part, we really will jump into the fire for one another. Uh, I can't say that so much about the new generation, but the millennials and the boomers were pretty tight. So I can't, obviously I can't say that about my cousins who are younger necessarily. I would like to think they would, but I don't want to be naive. Break communications link, gain entry to bunker. Okay. So my mother would die for me, and I would die for my mother, and for my aunts and uncles, and so we're real tight. You know, uh, For my grandmother, for my grandpa, if they ask anything of me, it's pretty much basically done. You know, there's not much questioning about it. Unfortunately for David, you know, he doesn't have a family that's real um, dedicated and responsible like that. So there's a lack of the respect. Like, well, I take care of my mother for until the end. My grandmother had 2 strokes. I helped lift her to change and to load her up into a van. And, you know, I mean, I'm a guy, so I'm not going to bathe her butt naked or anything. But I'm just saying, you know, whatever must be done, basically, must be done. And there's no avoiding the responsibility. Well, I mean, I guess some children can. They can try to put their parents in a home. They don't want to deal with it. But at the end of the day, guess what? If your parents are getting old and they're sick, you have to. If you're their children, you have to. That's your responsibility to fucking take care of them. That's not negotiable. That's not optional. Okay, I think we have the room key now. Oh man, got that grenade on me, dog. Oh, pulled that grenade on me. Fucking Ruskies. Ruskis. Ruski Izik. Okay. Oh. So if my mother or my aunt, uncle, or father or anybody was in danger, I'd rush into the fire and save their ass. You know, I mean that's just responsibility, duty to your family, 101. You don't leave your son, daughter, or brother, or sister, or mother, or father out to die in the cold of winter. To wander the streets if they have dementia or anything like that. Do we do it? Oh, did we fuck this part up? Oh shit. Ah, did we fail the mission? Oh man. My balls is hot. No, my balls are just itchy balls, huh? You got those itchy balls. Well, when you have hairy balls, you have the itchy balls. Okay, so we are having the party tonight. So we're gonna have the Goldeneye karaoke. Um, Yeah, so the Goldeneye movie is fun. It's exciting. It's it's optimistic. It's very campy. It's very bombastic. Um, of course, the beautiful Femke Janssen as the Bond girl is amazing, amazingly beautiful. Of course, you have Isabella Skorupko as the gorgeous Russian Natalia, the other Bond girl. Um, uh, the, the choice of Joe Don Baker as the American CIA counterpart is a strange choice, but it works out all right. Um, James Bond's American intelligence operative is Felix Leiter, but hold on a second. Need to fight. Do I have to go to another? Hold on. Okay. Uh, okay. Well, it looks like I destroyed everything, but it doesn't say that I've completed the objective yet. Is there anything I found cool about the Russian military? I always enjoyed their blue, like Arctic camouflage. I always thought that always looked so cool. That's the only thing positive I can say about the Russian military. Besides that, they're pretty inefficient, to say the least. That not destroy all the. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. I just didn't let out enough mayhem. Oh, all right. Let's. I love the mayhem, but all right. Let's haul assholes. Yeah. So the movie is refreshing, pro-Western. Uh, it's a jubilant film about Western victory as the United States becomes the the at that time world's preeminent global superpower. Yeah, I think I have to enter the bunker from. All right. Gain entry to the bunker. Oh, do I have to go through the back door? Ooh, one of my favorites. I love going through the back door. Wow, wow. There you go. I'm a back door. I'm a backdoor man. There you go. Literally. Uh oh. Welcome to Servanaya, comrade. Ooh. Dun dun dun. 42.4%. Yeah, my accuracy was not really that great that time, huh? Okay. Recover CCTV tape. Escape with Natalia. Escape is the first priority. Find the staff and casualty list and the CCTV tape of your capture. If there are any witnesses, try and bring them out as well. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. In briefing, unbelievable 007. If this gets out, we'll be the laughingstock of the international community. As soon as you get back, if you get back, you're getting a performance review. Only completing the objectives will give you a hope of keeping your rather checkered career intact. Q Branch, you've got your wits, and that's about it, 007. Not much I can do to help you here. You might try to find your equipment again when you escape from the cell, though. It took me a lot of time to get all that stuff together. Moneypenny, grabbed by the Spetsnaz, James? Sounds painful. Ah, nice penis joke. Ooh. Natalia, it appears that we are cellmates. Who are you, anyway? Yeah. Uh-oh. The name's Bond. James Bond. Ah. Natalia Fodorovna Simonova. Charmed to meet you, Natalia. Why have you been locked up? They think that I am a traitor, that I betrayed my countrymen. And did you? Of course not. Omarov stole the Goldeneye. Colonel Arkady Grigorovich Omarov? Omarov is a general now, in charge of the space weapon program. What brings you to Siberia, James Bond? I work for the British government. I'm looking for a stolen helicopter. That doesn't matter anymore. Why not? You are a spy, and I am a traitor. We'll both be shot. I don't think so. I have a cunning plan. Let's see what Tula was barking up. So then, oh man, yeah, I wouldn't say that Goldeneye is a um, got a watch magnet attract go gadget. God, my stomach hurts. I'm going to be sick. You must think I was born yesterday. Sigh. That worked well. Ah, I'm really ill. Open the cell door. Shut up. Don't bother me again. Nice work. Okay. We got the cell key, so we're good to go on that. Stop or I'll shoot. What? Oh, we need that. We have to be unarmed to hit him. Oh, ooh. You got a KF Soviet? Aye, aye. Okay. No one heard that, huh? Okay, what's the goal here? Oh. Watch live the Blue Origin launch. Watch Jeff Bezos launch another phallic penis into space. Watch his big dick rockets into space, representing his penis. I'm penetrating Earth in space. My big penis. Lex Luthor himself, huh? Yeah, he's like the real life Lex Luthor, huh? Definitely. What do we have to do here? Recover CCTV tape, escape from Natalia. Okay, fair enough. Oh, oops. Where's the key, by the way? Oh, thought the key was in the room. It's not here. Shit. Fudge. Let's go, baby. No, it's just the dossier. Fuck. Where's the key located, dog? Nothing much but the touch in the city of the clutch, down. All right, watch out. Ooh. Oh, shit. Let's see what the... Well, you have a lot of the suit. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, maybe the key is in... Oh, shit. All right, no idea. So Goldeneye is a celebration of freedom from communism. It's not here. You're just in the room the whole time. Fucking. Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. So it's not here. Look. Oh, maybe it's on the, yeah. Try that. Oh, that's the tape. Shit. Oh, escape when the tape. Oh, you need the tape, not the key. Silly. Oh. We should go to the main control room. All right, let's go. All right. Okay, let's go. Uh-oh. What's going on here? All right, let's do it. Okay, honey. Let's go. Remember, the password is not knockers. Ooh. The password is titties. Big titties. The password is tatetes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, both the Bond girls are super hot, aren't they? Umarov has activated the Goldeneye satellite. It's going to fire on Servanaya. We've got to escape. Ah. Oh. 52.6%, getting that percentage up. James Bond, St. Petersburg, Statue Park. Contact Valentine. Confront an unmasked Janice. Locate helicopter. Rescue Natalia. Find flight recorder. Oh, this one's really good. St. Petersburg, Russia. Statue Park. Following the Servanaya incident, MI6 has lost track of the pirate helicopter. Presumably, the bugging device has been located and destroyed. Natalia Simonova, who returned to St. Petersburg against our advice, has gone missing. We can only assume that she has been abducted by the Janus Syndicate in a belated attempt to cover their tracks. In briefing, the situation is critical, 007. Janus know we're onto them and they're taking control. We're going to circumvent the usual channels on this one. I've arranged contact with an ex-KGB agent, Valentin Zhukovsky, in Statue Park, St. Petersburg. He claims he can set up a meeting with Janus. Apparently, the head of Janus wants to see you in person. Frankly, I'm uneasy about this, but it's all we've got to go on. Q Brants, no gizmos this time, old boy. Moneypenny, a damsel in distress. Just be careful with that chopper, James. Statue Park, St. Petersburg. Oh. Trying to throw a grenade at me, old boy. That's not kosher. That's not copacetic. I love this like Russian Imperial Soviet music. My boy Valentin on the scene. No. Is this where? Oh, that's not where Valentin is at. So my uncle, he had his like elderly apartments, and he was fine. And so he had some government housing in Austin, Texas. Everything was okay. And then his daughter had a granddaughter, and it's very natural that a grandfather or grandmother wants to be around their grandchildren. So that's the future, that's their family. So him and James were not on speaking terms. It's my boy Valentin. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Bond. These are strange times. With an ex-KGB agent meeting an MI6 operative in the middle of St. Petersburg? Ha! I never thought I'd find myself helping you, but things have changed in Russia. Janus will meet you by Lenin's statue. Beware him. He's a Lenin's Cossack traitor. Now I must leave. The guards are out in force, and I fear they may mistake me for a spy. That was Valentin. So then, But then I guess my uncle, I don't know if he's going, my step uncle, I don't know if he's going senile or he has early onset Alzheimer's or what. But, men of that age in the late 70s and early 80s start to develop those memory problems. So not all men develop memory problems, but many do, unfortunately. Um, Human genetics, I suppose, is not hardwired for extreme longevity, that we're only supposed to live max at 80 years, and then the body starts to um, shut down, you know, mentally, physically, until our deaths. Um, some men, can live long lives without developing memory problems, but a lot of men will get dementia, senioritis, and forgetfulness, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, etc. So dementia and so on. So my uncle was moved to Pearland with his daughter and her boyfriend, which was a mistake because he already had a nice scenario in Austin, so there was no need to move to Pearland, Texas. Shit, get my ass kicked. Better just go ahead and hit it. It's kind of getting ambushed here. That last missile really got me, didn't it? I mean, that last grenade pretty much fried my ass. Okay, here we go. Meet with Janice. Or have I not accomplished something? Oh, shit. What's up? Okay. All right, it should start up now. All right. Oh, here we go. I think if I go unarmed, then it's fine. Yeah. Okay, here comes Janice Syndicate. So my uncle lived with he said he called my mother and I and said, hey, I'm living in Pearland. I'm with my daughter and granddaughter and her boyfriend, and everything's fine. And, so, yeah. So that's the last time we heard from him, like about 2 months ago. Now I heard today that that his daughter and her boyfriend said that he had gotten erratic and they got into a fight. So they drove him to Austin and dropped him off. And he was wandering the streets homeless in the cold. And then eventually he had to go to the hospital. And so he called my aunt, told him, or from the hospital, they called my aunt. No gun, 007? MI6 must be cutting their budget these days. Alec, you're Janice? Yes, the MI6 hero back from the dead. But why, Alec? I trusted you. Trust can be misplaced, James. My parents trusted the British government. They were betrayed with all the other Lin's Cossacks. I will have my revenge. What have you done with Natalia? The girl? I've left her with the pirate helicopter at the park gates. We've finished with them. I have the Goldeneye firing key now. By the way, the helicopter's rigged to blow in 3 minutes. I doubt she'll survive. Oh, shit. Fuck. I might be toast. Shit, I'm not going to make it out of this one. Come on. I'm going to try. There we go. Nice. Will the pump action shotguns work? Oh, we better hurry. No more time. Auto shotgun. All right, so the shitty daughter left my step uncle David out in the Austin cold, and he ended up in the hospital. Called my aunt and told her everything, and Rachel and her boyfriend refused to take him back in, saying that he's erratic and he needs to go to a nursing home and all of this stuff. So not exactly happily ever after the ending we were hoping for, but yeah. I don't think his son or daughter are very good children to their father. So is this the right way? Fucking hope so, dog. Here we go. Natalia, wake up. Proximity. Natalia! James, quickly, this way. The helicopter's about to explode. I have to find the helicopter flight recorder. Wait for me at the gates. Uh-oh. Got a bomb. See somebody coming through there. There we go. Shit. Direct hit. Is it this far out? Oh, yeah. Oh, is that it? Okay, there we go. Flight recorder. Objective E completed. Let's rock. One more hit and we're toast, so. Ah, shit. Bam, bam. Dun, dun. Bum, bum. Oh, man. Well, 60%. Getting a little bit better into what they used to call D in old school. Well, KF Soviet Kalishnikov. Oh, man. Mission 6, St. Petersburg, Military Archives. I love this one, but I'm going to take a short recess and take my dogs out, and then we'll be back to the Goldeneye 30th anniversary celebration. Yeah, Military Archives, Mission 6, St. Petersburg. Oh, God bless and best of success. See you later for more James Bonding.